Chapter 3, titled More Bad News. Mother came to get me from school that day. She said she would drive me and Sheldon home so we wouldn't have to take the bus. I walked to the parking lot very limping. Sheldon was still wearing the ice bag on top of his head. My, it must have been quite a day in room 1, said Mother. Sheldon did a sigh. I've had better, he said. After that, both of us got in the back seat and we buckled our seat belts. Sheldon quick put down his window. Mother turned around. Gee, I don't know, Sheldon, she said. That's going to be a lot of wind on you, don't you think? I like wind, said Sheldon. Wind makes my cheeks flap. Mother stared at him a second. Okie dokie, she said, kind of quiet. Then she turned back around and she started the car. And we drove out of the parking lot. Sheldon leaned his head close to the window and he tilted his head into the rushing air. He opened his mouth so the wind flapped his cheeks. Both of us started to laugh. Only just then, a little bit of trouble, if I can turn the page, happened. Because Mother went around a corner, kind of whizzy, and Sheldon's head got tilted even further, and whoosh, the ice bag flew back out the window. Right out the window. The ice bag flew right out the window. Sheldon sat very still after that. Finally, he closed the window, and he drummed his fingers on the seat. Today isn't really going that good for me, he said. I nodded. Then I patted his arm, because sometimes I understand that boy perfectly well. That night I tossed and turned in my bed, because my toe did not like things touching it. That's why, not even the sheet. Only here is the worstest part of all, because the next morning when I took off my covers, my whole entire toenail was black. I had to scream at that terrible sight. Mother and Daddy came running. Junie B, what on earth is the matter, said Mother. My toe is the matter, my toe is the matter, I hollered back. Look, look, look. I held up my foot for Mother to see. Oh my, she said. The doctor said this might happen. Your toenail has a bad bruise on it. I wrinkled my eyebrow at her. A bruise, I said. That's all it is? It's just a bruise? Mother nodded. Yes, it's just a bruise. Junie B, she said. But I'm afraid it's going to be a little painful to wear shoes for a while. Daddy sat down next to me. Don't worry though, honey, he said. As soon as it grows out, it will look normal again. He pointed to his bare foot. Look at mine. I've bruised my big toenail many times over the years, but it's always grown out as good as new. See? I looked at it and made a face. Daddy's big toe is not attractive. Daddy's big toe is not attractive, she said. Just then, tears came to my eyes. I touched my toe very gently. Ow, 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 it hurts even worse than yesterday, I said. And now, what am I supposed to do? Because I don't even want to wear sandals to school again. On account of sandals don't protect toes from getting hurt. Mother thought for a minute. Then she went to my closet. And she got out my old red sneakers, and she cut a hole in the top of one of them with scissors. She held it up for me to see. Ta-da! She said, real singy. And ha! What do you know? The hole was right where my sore piggy toe would be. Mother helped me put on my red socks. Then she slid the holy sneaker on my foot very carefully. And surprise, surprise, it didn't even hurt hardly. After breakfast, Mother drove me to school again. Only at first, when I went to my room, I felt kind of shy about my sneaker hole. And so I snuck to my seat and showed it to my friend Herb in private. And guess what? Herbert's whole face lighted up. A window, he said. You've got a window in your shoe. I did a giggle at that idea. Hey, yeah, I said, a piggy toe window. Just then, Sheldon came hurrying into room 1. He had a shiny red Band-Aid on his forehead. He stood in the front of the room and he pointed to it with his finger. No one touch this, please, he said real loud. He turned to Mr. Scary. Even though I came back to school today, I am still not totally right up here, he said. Mr. Scary nodded. Oh, yes, Sheldon, I am very aware of that, he said. Sheldon kept on talking. I probably shouldn't play in the kickball tournament on Friday either, he said, because what if I'm standing at home plate and a ball starts rolling at me, and then it hits a rock, and it bounces up and smacks me in the Band-Aid, and I get a bump on top of my bump. He did a little shiver. Double bumps would not be good, he said. Mr. Scary looked at him. No, Sheldon, double bumps would not be good, he said. But don't worry, between now and then, I'm sure we can come up with something else you can do in the tournament. After that, Mr. Scary glanced over at me. And don't you worry either, Junie B, he said. We'll think of something else you can do, okay? I raised my eyebrow at that guy. Yeah, but I don't want to do something else, Mr. Scary, I said. I want to play in the kickball game. I've been practicing real hard. Mr. Scary smiled, kind of sad. Yes, I'm sure you have, Junie B, he said, but your toe is already sore, and I doubt if you'll feel like kicking a ball when with it on Friday. I sat there a minute, because I never ever thought of that problem before. All of a sudden, my shoulder felt very slumping. I put my head on my desk and I hid under my sweater, because now I could never be the star of the kickball tournament, and that had been the happiest daydream of my life. All right, that was the end of chapter 3. That was kind of a long one, so I'll give you a break and we'll continue on our next video.